Akash Inti, the real reflection of you. That's how I feel right now. It's been a whirlwind of a ride. Today, specifically this weekend, it's been interesting. Lots going on in my world. A client of mine just released a new single out this past Friday, and I was working on a convention where I was an attendee, as well as helping manage a digital Zoom conference, and I also had the opportunity to speak there for about an hour. So lots going on this past weekend, this past week. So much learning. And then I just came back from karate practice. And I was on a Zoom meeting just before this. Again, learning. And man, it's funny because if I look at my life right now and I look back on just the weekend, but even more so in the past year, and I think back to how much time did I dedicate to learning something new and to putting myself in a position where I admitted that I don't know anything, and in some way, shape, or form, right? To learn in and of itself, one needs to admit that I don't know. And I look back at, again, just the past year, and I genuinely think I have done more learning in this 1 year than, man, I don't even know. Maybe I might even say college, but that might be a stretch. But the type of learning that I did was life skills learning, the type of learning where it's directly applicable to how do I live my life? What do I do today? How do I take that next step forward? And it's not like, all right, well, you just put your foot in front of the other one and you put your foot in front of the other one and you just keep going. Yeah, there was a little bit of that, but how do I deal with my life in ways that are, I don't even know, deal with my life. That's not the right wording, It's like, what can I do to better address the emotions, the feelings that come up within my life, so that they don't derail me from my larger purpose or whatever it is that I'm going after at the moment? How do I strengthen myself? And strengthen more than anything the recognition that, as physical as my life, my being, even my face, all of this, as physical as it may seem, that I'm not as physical as I once thought. I really do believe that I'm more of almost like an ether, if you will. Just a connection of a bunch of, almost like just an energy, just a current of energy. Coming back to these ideas, coming back to all of this, how do I recognize this? How do I become okay with it? And what does that mean in some senses, right? How do I apply these understandings in my life? And as I'm saying all this right now, I'm getting really self-conscious of myself for some reason, because it's like, well, where are you really taking this? And it's like, I don't really know. And I'm thinking to myself, well, now I'm thinking to myself, I was not before, but now that I mentioned it, now I am. Are people do people resonate with this? Do people listen to, do people really listen to what I have to say? And then I think back and I'm like, well, I'm not doing these videos for anyone else but for myself. In the sense of, the only real reason that I make them is to express myself. It's for nothing more, nothing less. to give a snapshot of where am I at in my life? What's my consciousness willing to speak about? What am I willing to express to a camera for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, usually about 10 minutes. And that's what I do. And I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know why I do it. But that's that, that's that. So I look back, I was looking back at my weekend and then the martial arts practice that I went to and just really rethinking, like, man. And it's not to compare against anyone else, right? It's like, what does it matter? This is my life. It's not anyone else's life. And quite frankly, I don't give a shit if about anyone else's life, and not in a way that's like, oh, I don't give a shit about anyone else's life, so kill them all. No, in the sense of like, this is my life, and it's the only thing that I have control over. So, who am I to judge someone else for their the way that they live their life? Who am I to judge that? And I say that, and there's subtle ways that I still judge people. And it's funny because, well, I'm not really judging anyone else, but I'm judging myself. There's sometimes that I'll see certain individuals, and whatever I see in them, that's a direct reflection of what's going on with me. Where am I at? And there's times where I see some really radiant things in other individuals, where it's just really, truly, man, it's something, And then there's other times where it's like, I see the worst in people, and I really, man, I see the insecurities, I'll see the whatever. And it's like, well, dude, why are you focusing on that at that time? Whether if it's the positive or the negative, or seemingly positive or seemingly the negative, it's nothing is, that's more one thing I've realized is like, nothing's really positive, nothing's really negative. It just depends on the context for whom, where, when, what am I referring to? Really the 5 W's and then the how. So I don't know. I don't know. More than anything, I just keep coming back to this. I don't know. I barely know what's going on with myself, and I'm barely able to communicate that more often than not. So how do I have any idea what's going on around me? Whether that be world's circumstances, like global circumstances, or my opinions about someone else or what they're doing, or none of that matters, none of that really matters. Even you watching this video right now, if you're watching it, maybe you're tuning in, maybe you enjoy the content, maybe you're like, fuck this guy, I don't like him at all, but I'm still gonna watch his stuff so I can make fun of him. I don't know what your opinion is of me, and quite frankly, that's not my business. That's your business. But that's where I'm at right now. That's what's going on with me today. I heard something earlier today in the convention that really resonated with me. And that's to look around and see what is the thing that I can do next. What can I do in my immediate environments to take the next step? And I remember in that moment when I heard that, I looked around and my room was a disaster. And it wasn't like, someone else might be like, oh, that's a disaster. I've got so much worse. And it's like, and other people are like, yeah, dude, that's an absolute disaster. And some people might even still in my room right now and be like, dude, that's an absolute disaster. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, to me, it was like I could tell that I was in a state of chaos. And there's still areas in my life where I literally look around physically in my environment and I'm like, there's a little chaos there. There's a little chaos there. There's areas, sure. But to just take that step and to do something about it in this moment right now. So a reminder to myself, keep up, thrive, and stay sexy.